friends, welcome back to my channel. We're here today for a book haul, and I'm not sure whether I should call this my February book haul because I acquired the books in February, or my March book haul because we're in the month of March now. But it doesn't matter because they're books, they're new books, and I'm excited about them, and I know you're excited about them too because you're here for the video. So I want to share them with you. A lot of these are books that I got from publishers, either because I wrote to the publishers and asked them to send me a copy of a new release because I'm excited and the publisher occasionally wants more publicity, or because of a relationship that I have with a publicity company and they send emails to me asking me if I'm interested in a particular book, and I say yes, and the books show up. It doesn't matter why the books come. We're just excited that they're here. A couple of these are books that I bought myself, but most of these are books that came from the publishers, and can I say it again? I'm excited. So we're going to start with a book that I got from Penguin Random House. This is the 1619 Project by Nicole Hannah-Jones and various contributors. This is talking about the origins of African Americans coming here in the latter part of the year 1619 project, and various people writing about that 400-year history. So there are essays, there's fiction, there are poems, and I'm so excited to have a copy of this book. I would have loved to have read it in February, but I had to manage my expectations. So this is a book that I'm hoping to get to pretty soon, maybe a buddy read. If you have a copy of this one and you'd like to buddy read it with me, or you have access to the book and want to buddy read it with me, let me know down below, because I think this is a book that I want to discuss with someone as I'm reading it. Failing a buddy read, maybe what I'll do is what I did for the Barack Obama book last year, where I read over the course of like a week, and every day I made a short video talking about that part of the book. I might do that. So yeah, that's the first book. Very excited about it. Penguin Random House also sent me Becoming by Michelle Obama's memoir, and I may be the only person who hasn't yet read this book, but I'm no less enthusiastic about it. Like, the 3 years that have passed since this book was released and am I not reading it, is not a reflection of my excitement. There's so many fantastic books, and I felt like maybe I wanted to put a little distance between, I don't know, there's no reason why I didn't pick up this book yet, but having my own copy now means that I could get to it sooner. Also got Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. This is from Penguin Random House as well. This is a novel, and the author is a woman of Jamaican heritage. She's an American writer. She's an American writer who's lived in Jamaica and is based in Italy. And this is a novel talking a little bit about some culture from Jamaica. Black cake is a delicacy. It's a dessert that is made in Jamaica. It's like a fruit cake, a really heavy fruit cake that is, they probably make it in a lot of places with African culture, but I'm going to say that it's indigenous to Jamaica just because I'm Jamaican. So really looking forward to reading this one. And yeah, more on that when I read it. Penguin Random House also sent me A Little Devil in America by Hanif Abdurraqib. This was a finalist for the National Book Award, and it's a reflection on Black performance and how Black performance is woven into American culture. I'm really looking forward to reading this, and it's a pretty short book. This is only about 250 pages or so. So you'll hear me reading and discussing that one pretty soon. I think it's on the long list for the BookTube prize, so this may come up in a future round for me to read, so we'll see. I also got this one from Penguin Random House, The Life of the Mind by Christine Smallwood. This is a novel, and it's about an English professor, a woman who's working in a New York City university, and that's all I saw of the synopsis before I said, yes, please, I'd love to read that. Can you please send it to me? So this is also a short novel, just a little over 200 pages. So this is like one of those, I could read this in a day kind of books. And I love that little picture on the front, little image of a woman who looks like maybe a Victorian statue, and she's sitting at a little writing desk. And I don't know. This is a debut novel, so looking forward to checking that one out. Other books, I got Vanessa Miller's Something Good. This was sent to me by HarperCollins. This is a novel about three people who get their lives kind of intertwined after some accident. And so I'm supposed to be reading this one this month because I have a review scheduled on my blog sometime. So you'll hear me talk about that pretty soon. Other books that I got: Bear Grylls' memoir, Never Give Up, My Life in the Wild, an autobiography by Bear Grylls, who, if you're not familiar, he has a TV show where he takes celebrities into the wilderness and teaches them some survival skills kind of on the fly. I haven't watched a lot of his shows. I've seen clips with some celebrities that are familiar to me. He is a second-degree black belt in karate. He joined the SAS of Britain's elite special forces, and at the age of 23 years old, he became one of the youngest climbers to scale Mount Everest. He has this acclaimed television series called Man vs. Wild. That's what it's called. He takes such stars as Shaquille O'Neal, Channing Tatum, and Kate Winslet into the wild. So he's married with 3 sons. I never would have guessed. You know, I've spent some time in the wilderness, usually with children from my youth group at church, teaching them survival skills in the wild, like how to build an emergency shelter, how to build a fire when you have one match and the wood is cold, that kind of thing. But he's next level, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this book, and I'm going to be reviewing it on my blog later this month as well. I think this month, maybe in April, but soon. Then I got Warrior Sister, Cut Yourself Free. This one is a pretty short book, just about 150 pages or so. It is self-help and guided journaling for women, especially young women, especially teen girls who have been victimized and are looking to change their mindset to start planning a future away from victimhood. And so it is about this author, who is Jennifer DeBellis, giving tips from her own experience, from her professional stance on how to change your life, how to see the sisterhood that is willing to embrace you and help you, and how to just move forward and move on. And in this book, she talks a little bit about the statistics that teenage girls are the ones who are most victimized in this country, but they're also the group that gets the least resources earmarked specifically for them. And it's just pretty sad. So I like that this book exists. And so I read it. I talked about it on my blog, and I also mentioned it on my Instagram yesterday. So go check out what I had to say about that book if you want to hear a little bit more. More on that coming soon as well. Also got Between Two Kingdoms by Sulika Joad. This one's a memoir about a woman whose life is interrupted. It says right before she turned 23, she was diagnosed with leukemia, and 4 years later, when she has been cured, she goes on this road trip to kind of find out what it means to live again. So I don't know, it's a memoir, and I also think it's a road trip, and I like road trips. So I want to read this latest story, and so got that one from Penguin Random House as well. Penguin Random House rocks. Other books. This was the book for the Run Right Reads book club in January. This was the pick for the Run Right Reads book club in January, The Long Song by Andrea Levy. And I'd ordered it in January, but didn't come until February. So for the book club, I read an e-copy from my library. So this one came in, and I still haven't made my review video. So that's coming soon. But now that I have my book, we can kind of talk a little bit more about the story. And then I got this one from the publishers as well, Say All the Unspoken Things by John Soares. This is a collection of letters that this man writes to his 3 daughters over the course of about a year in the beginning of the pandemic, so in 2020. And he's writing to his daughters and saving them for when they grow up so they can be reminded of things that they were doing that they probably weren't aware of or conscious enough to write down for themselves. So he's saving their memories through his own interpretations in letters. And I love this. So I reviewed this on my blog. I'll link my blog posts down below so you can go check them out. This is a book of letters, like I said, by John Soares, Say All the Unspoken Things, and it is fantastic. It's also a call to action for parents or just anyone who wants to write letters and maybe struggles to find the time or find the inclination or find the motivation or find the words to write down. That's a really good motivation to do it. And then finally, this is the book that I bought myself. Well, one of the two books I bought myself. I bought this, and I also bought Swansway, Marcel Proust. I went back and forth many times about which copy, which edition, which version of which translation of this book I should buy. I eventually just bought this one because, well, I bought this one. This is a translation by Lydia Davis. I've heard that it's probably the best translation out there right now. So this is Swansway, Volume 1 of Marcel Proust's In Search of Lost Time. Yeah. So it says, Marcel Proust, In Search of Lost Time, is one of the most entertaining reading experiences in any language and arguably the finest novel of the 20th century. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. It's on my TBR for 2022, and so now I have my copy. I can start on it at some point. Proust. So that's my book haul. Those are the books that I got in February. Over the course of the next few weeks, you may hear me talk about these books, mention them in some way. Just know this is where they came from, and I'm excited to read them. Even if I don't get to them today or tomorrow or in the next week or two, I'm excited about the books. I just have other books that I'm also excited about, so I can't read them all at the same time. Can't read them as quickly as I might want to, but I'm excited. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for sharing this experience of book acquisition with me. I hope you'll come back for another video. We'll be on here tomorrow talking a little bit about the books that we read in February. Instead of my Friday Reads wrap up, I'll talk about the books that I read in February. So that's what you can look forward to coming up on the channel tomorrow. And I may have a special video for the weekend. Not sure about that yet, but yeah. Stick around, stay tuned, watch something else. If you want to go back and watch a previous video that I made, would love to get your feedback on some of those other videos that I've made as well. So thank you so much for watching this one. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let's chat in the comments. Let me know what books you got in February, whether you get books from publishers or you buy books yourself, new books, used books, whatever. If you buy ebooks, I don't buy a lot of ebooks because I have access to a lot of ebooks from my library. So that saves some of the coins so I can buy physical books without having a place to put them. But yeah, that's another story for a different time. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.